Hello everybody out there and welcome back here once again with the Future to another Futures movie review, and this time I will be reviewing the movie Doctor Strange, and it will be a first impression review, first reaction, whatever you want to call it. I just got home from my local theater, seeing this movie in 3D actually, and I would highly recommend watching it in 3D if you can because it does have great visuals. The movie that I will be reviewing, like I said, is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a 2016 American superhero film featuring the Marvel Comics character of the same name. It was produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It is the 14th Marvel Universe film that is based in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The film is directed by Scott Derrickson, who wrote the film for John Spates and C. Robert Cargill, and stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Rachel McAdams, Benedict Wong, Michael Stuhlbarg, Benjamin Bratt, Scott Adkins, Matt Mikkelsen, and Tilda Swinton. A little bit of background on it. Doctor Strange held its world premiere in Hong Kong on October 13, 2016 and was released in the United States on November 4, 2016 in 3D and IMAX 3D. The film was grossed over $325 million by the time I have made this video and was met with positive reviews from critics who particularly praised its visuals, acting, and musical score. And now, just to give a little synopsis over the movie, Marvel's Doctor Strange follows the story of the talented neurosurgeon Dr. Stephen Strange, who, after a tragic car accident, must put ego aside and learn the secrets of a hidden world of mysticism and alternate dimensions. Based in New York City's Greenwich Village, Doctor Strange must act as an intermediary between the real world and what lies beyond, utilizing a vast array of metaphysical abilities and artifacts to protect the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yes, this movie is another tie-in to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Even at the very end of the movie, I'm not going to tell anybody how, but they do reveal another Infinity Stone in this movie, which I did find interesting. And just to tell everybody what the Infinity Stone is, the Infinity Stones are 6 immensely powerful objects tied to different aspects of the universe created by the cosmic entities. Each of the stones possesses unique capabilities that have been enhanced and altered by various alien civilizations through the millennia. So only beings of immense power can wield these stones, and lesser beings are usually unable to grasp the full power of the stones and are destroyed by them when direct contact is made. If you know anything about Marvel, you'll actually know what I am talking about. So I thought that was a cool reveal in the movie, but my overall reaction to this movie is definitely not good. I did not like the acting in this movie. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was a terrible choice as the lead role as Stephen Strange. I mean, if I was going to pick a Doctor Strange, I still want the guy to have some kind of a coolness factor to him, and Cumberbatch does not come off with a coolness factor, nor does he come off with a highly spiritual, deep figure, which I figured that Doctor Strange would be like. He's very goofy acting, kind of keeps his same mode in human mode as he does as Doctor Strange. He's not mystical at all. Me and my dad were talking and we thought like somebody like Edward Norton or somebody like that who has that more mystical edge to his acting would have done a lot better than Benedict Cumberbatch. I actually thought the first part of the film was the best part of the film, and once that they got into the action, it was like any other Marvel movie where it's just over the top with action, over the top with fighting. I mean, there were several instances in this movie where I just got really bored. It lasted an hour and 55 minutes, by the way, too, and I definitely think it could have been an hour and a half movie, and it would have rolled along a lot faster, and they could have cut out a lot of the CGI and everything. I thought this movie was a big CGI mess, really. I mean, you have winding CGI, you have up and down, moving. I mean, if anybody gets sick at movies that have to do with CGI that move around a lot, you know, have bad motion sickness, I definitely would not recommend this movie, especially in 3D. It was a little weird on my eyes as well in some parts too. I thought the acting and the cast choices were very mediocre to say the least. I did not find anything redeeming about this movie. Like, I never want to go out and buy this movie or watch it again. If it's on TV, I probably would flip right by it. It has no interest factor at all to me. As I said, I would give it lower than Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children, which I gave a 7 out of 10 last time. I'm giving this one at least a 6 out of 10. And I'm a big fan of Marvel, if anybody knows, so I'm not trying to knock Marvel movies, but every time I go to it, it's just more of the same nonsensical BS. No story to these movies. I thought for an origin story, it was really weak. You know, at the beginning, he gets in a car wreck, loses control of his hands, so that's how he meets up with this man who was miraculously healed from a back break. Like, I don't know, he broke a C7 or C8 or something and miraculously came back from paralyzation. He goes and finds this guy and finds out that he studied down in Kathmandu on how to restore his mind to make himself better and restore his body. And that's why he wants to go to Kathmandu in Nepal. And actually, Stephen Strange at first, who is very self-centered and thinks that the world revolves around him and everything that he does is right and everything that he says is right, he reminds her a lot of, and as I'm speaking as her as the Ancient One, he reminds her a lot of Caecilius, who is the lead villain in this movie, which I thought was terrible. I thought the villains in this movie were terrible too, so it wasn't just Cumberbatch's performance. I thought that, they had the guy from 12 Years a Slave playing one of the followers of the mystic arts. Tilda Swinton played the Ancient One, by the way, and I thought it was a terrible choice. More of an unknown actress at this point would have made a difference, and it's all, I swear any more of these Marvel movies just try to get big name actors into these parts. But you had Benedict Wong as Wong. You had Rachel McAdams as the love interest, who is a fellow surgeon of Doctor Strange, which is written in as the love interest. So this whole time he has a little love story going on, which Marvel can never do any kind of movie without some kind of a love story. And Chiwetel Ejiofor was Carl Mordo, who was close with the Ancient One and a mentor to Strange. And he is the one from 12 Years a Slave that I said was in this, and I thought he was terrible in his part, to tell you the truth. And Mads Mikkelsen was Caecilius, which I thought was horrible as the choice for that villain as well. I have really nothing very great to say about this movie except for some of the effects and some of the stuff were really cool, but I thought it was over the top, and I'm not just going to a movie to look at effects and CGI. It kind of gets tiring to me when I'm sitting there seeing guys fighting on the side of buildings and a bunch of CGI and there's no story. And I just thought this movie lacked story big time. And I don't see how the critics could have given this such a high score. I've seen it had like over a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I just cannot believe that the critics could give this a high score. It was a really weak effort for Marvel. And there has not been many Marvel movies lately that have grabbed me in any sort of way. I'm a fan of the early Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and I'm also a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I still think is the top Marvel movie ever made, Guardians of the Galaxy. And they do have the second one. I saw the trailer for that tonight. It does look pretty cool. Overall, for Doctor Strange, I would definitely give a 6 out of 10 just for some effects and people who like that kind of stuff. And if you're into that action, you're going to like this movie. But if you're going for a real deep story, which I thought it would be more deep, you would learn a lot more in this movie and it would just kind of capture you in that way. But I wasn't attracted to anything that they said in this movie as far as like spiritually, like I thought I would be going into this movie, kind of like a Kung Fu. If you've ever watched the series Kung Fu, a lot of morality and stuff, and I thought it was going to be kind of like Kung Fu type deal, which they could have done and could have went that way, but instead it just ties in with all the other Marvel movies and you get the Infinity Stone at the end. Also, don't leave the credits because there is a post-credit scene where he's talking to Thor, and I won't give away everything. It's about Loki and Odin. I'm not going to try to give it all away, but something has happened to his father Odin, and that is the post scene, so check that out. And yes, other than that, from the car accident where he was led to the journey of healing, and then he gets in to meet the Ancient One, and I think that's just where the movie starts falling apart. Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One was just not up to par in my opinion. They could have done something different. And besides, they're going to Nepal, and there's not one guy except for Wong who is of Asian descent. So, not even the Ancient One, nor the guy from 12 Years a Slave, which I can hardly pronounce his name. They're the only other two, so only one is Oriental, and that's the guy that keeps watch over all the ancient book scriptures and stuff like that for the Ancient One in Cumberbatch. That is the place where he studies and becomes Doctor Strange, was in Cumberbatch. So yeah, I'm never going to watch this movie again. I'll never buy it. I can't say never going to. I might see it on TV or something or at somebody else's house. You never know what could happen. But I thought Cumberbatch was a terrible choice for Doctor Strange. Bad casting, terrible dialogue from what I thought it would be. Not very mystical or spiritual or anything like that. Doesn't touch you in any sort of way. Kind of just blaws right in there with all the other bad Marvel movies that they've made lately. So yeah, everybody, And if you want to check out Doctor Strange, get out to your local theater and judge for yourself. I'm not going to say that my opinion is always right, but I'm trying to give just my first reaction and review on it, and I don't see how the critics rated it very high. I just found it very subpar. So yes, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. As always, till the next time that I go check out a movie at the theater and do a review, I want to say thank you guys for checking this one out. As always, make sure you give me a subscribe, comment about what you thought about the film or what you think about this review, and give me a like if you like what you heard. So yeah, everybody, thanks for tuning in. You gotta love it, and as always, peace out.